glad to read them throughout the show. Back to you, Sister Macy.
Welcome back to another episode of Explore Mountain States.
That's it for the weather
And
updates.
moving on to our district news update.
Only here
on INCRadio Mountain States.
Hello. Happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome to INC Radio Mountain States. I'm your host for today, Sister Nikki Payumo. Again, welcome to INC Radio Mountain States. Happy Saturday. It's the first Saturday of the month of February. So we are glad to have you here with us on this very beautiful Saturday weekend. But of course, I am not alone today. With our crew members, we have our director for today, Brother Ron Pobletti, and our crew, Sister Mylene Bernice, joining us from Las Vegas. So say hi, everyone.
Good
Hello,
afternoon,
everyone.
Mountain States.
Hi there.
All right. So that's our crew for today. And of course, we will also be joined with our very special guest later on. But before that, since you're already joining us here on YouTube, please don't forget to give us a like, share, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel, INC Radio DZEM 954. And join us in our live chat for today. Don't forget to put in your hashtag local congregations in the comment box below, because we are always watching and seeing all of our active live chatters there every week, so we can give them a very big shout out. With that said, here is our hashtag challenge winners for this week. So Kuya Tech, whenever you're ready, po, go ahead and show us our live chat winners for this week of February. Let's see. All right. Sorry, I missed it. Top 3, Denver, Colorado. Top 2, Henderson, Nevada. First spot again, West Las Vegas, Nevada.
Woohoo!
Claiming a top spot since last week. So let's see. Can anyone challenge them? You know, those top 5 are always so active. But of course, West Las Vegas is always on our top spot again. Thank you for always putting in your comments. Of course, not forgetting your hashtag local congregations with that as well. All right. Congratulations again. And for this week, our topic is kind of piggybacking from our previous topics this past 2 weeks, you know, getting to know more about financial literacy. For today, we are going to be talking about this new trend on saving money that has people talking about it all over the internet. And if you haven't heard it, and if you actually have heard it first here, then come join our discussion for today as we all together figure out how this new approach can help us better achieve our goals or our money saving goals this year, and talk more about this new trend, which is called loud budgeting. All right, we also pulled in some of our special guests to talk about this new approach and budgeting with us. So we will not wait any longer. We'll go ahead and introduce them, starting off with our sister Merikar from South Las Vegas. Hi, Sister Merikar. Say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you, and thank you for having me on.
Woohoo! Sister Merikar, can you just please share with us a little bit about yourself to get to know you a little bit more?
Yes, so I'm over in South Las Vegas, and I'm originally from San Diego. And for me and how I got introduced into financial literacy, and I guess loud budgeting, since that is the topic,
Mhm.
is when I was looking to pay off all of my credit card debt. And from there, it went through a positive spiral of figuring out credit card points, budgeting for me and my husband's wedding, budgeting for purchasing our first house, and also budgeting as a business owner overall. So it's been a journey, but it's one of the biggest blessings.
Oh, wow. Well, we definitely are excited to hear more about that. But also joining us, other than our very own Sister America, we also have Sister Mariel Dabu coming also from South Las Vegas. Say hello, Sister Mariel.
Hi po everyone. Happy Saturday.
All right, Sister Mel, can you just tell us a little bit more about yourself? I know you also like to, save money. So we really love to hear your tips on how we can be budgeting better this year.
For me, Sister Nikki, I'm not as experienced as Sister Monica, but she is one of the people I look up to and I am continuing to learn from. So
Mhm.
I'm really excited to learn more today with everybody.
Definitely. That's why we both have you here, and we'd love to hear a lot from you and learn from you today. So, also our live chat there. If you also have some tips you want to share with us, and also any thoughts about this new budgeting trend called loud budgeting, please do share your thoughts there in our comment box below, and we'll try our best to read it. Together with all of the many, many comments that you put in there, which we always appreciate. But let's go ahead and get to know more about our guests. So, Sister America, we'll start with you. If you don't mind sharing with us, how do you budget your funds for everyday spending? So, how do you make it easy for you?
Well, I always start off with how much money will I be making, whether it's from freelancing, my business, or from my 9 to 5 job. And from there, it's so important because say that somebody is making $75,000 a year,
Mm-hmm.
but then they're spending $80,000,
Mm,
meaning that
yes.
they're $5,000 in debt. And this
Mm-hmm.
is me being guilty, especially when I first learned about money. I was so excited. I bought everything and didn't count and didn't pay attention to how much I was actually budgeting and actually spending. But for me as well, something that the way that I budgeted is I realized I personally needed to change my relationship with money
Mm-hmm.
to be more financially disciplined and responsible. So, say that in a year, somebody was making $75,000. It's
Mm-hmm.
still the exact same job. Maybe it's from the different resources, but maybe they're only spending from what they're making 50,000 of those dollars, and they have an extra $25,000 to save, invest, do what they want. It blew my mind realizing you can make a certain amount of money, but what you do with that money is you get to dictate what you do with that money. So for me and my husband, since we are young buklod,
Mm-hmm.
we were recently purchased our first house. We don't have
Woohoo!
kids yet, but we are planning on getting a cat. We always together talk about over the next year, but also over the next month, over the next quarter, what does our budget look like and what does our financial forecast look like? Then we think about what are our goals as a family. For us, it really is adopting a cat and
Mm-hmm.
having our first cat. And we know we need to get pet insurance. We need to be able to get so many different things like its food, provide a comfortable living for the cat, and also saving up for any emergencies that may happen with the cat as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, what we do overall is figure out what's the budget that we're willing to spend overall
Mm-hmm.
as a family. And then how do we stay under budget or at that specific budget?
Yeah, very much so. Ate, you also mentioned that, even before you started, being financially aware or disciplined as well, how was it like for you before? When was that point of realization that, oh, you know what, I actually need to start getting serious and, budget not only for myself but also for your future family?
That is a great question because when I was 26, 27,
Mhm.
my credit score was in the 500s, which in the United States, credit scores are really, really important, especially if
Mhm.
you're looking to get a car, get a house, and even apply for a credit card, get a personal loan. And for me, that's a pretty low credit score. What
Mhm.
you're looking to be in the credit scores is towards like the 700s and
Mhm.
towards the 800s. And I was $8,000 in debt. And I was planning on moving over to Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
But then, in order to do that, I know I was going to get my credit checked. And I was so terrified that I would apply to these apartment complexes, get my credit checked, and then them not accept me to be one of their tenants in their apartment complex because my credit wasn't reliable and it was too low.
Mm.
So I realized really quickly, not just even for moving to Vegas to get an apartment, but if I wanted to get married, if I wanted to get any credit cards ever that had like a great cash rewards program or a points rewards program, that I needed to pay off all of my debt. So what I did is I challenged myself to, in the beginning, no spend days.
Oh, yes.
And what that was, I wouldn't spend a dollar at all, which sounds easy, but as I reflected on my life, I would leave my house and all of a sudden I'm spending $20. I go to
Right.
Target for something, or I go to a department store for a $6 item, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden I spend $30.
Yeah, it's so easy. They also what do they call it, like micro spending that builds up too. It's so little. Even if you say you go to the dollar store, even if you go to the dollar store, if you picked up 50 items, then you'll still have to spend $50, and I myself am guilty of that. But yeah, that is really good because even at a young age, this could also help for our young members out there. Starting young is so easy now. We have a lot of resources to be financially aware, and we say this because we're also experiencing that as we are talking about it. And we'd love to share this as well. But thank you for that, Sister America. We also want to hear with Sister Mario, if you don't mind sharing with us, how do you budget your funds for everyday spending?
Well, I started recently implementing a budget tracker,
Mm-hmm.
um, because it really lists out the bills that we have as a family, and then considering the different incomes we have and how much we're willing to share for each bill, on top of everyday essentials, and of course for offering. And then adding to what Sister Marikar was sharing with us, it's really important to have those discussions with your husband or with your family, just to be really transparent about what you need to save for, what you're willing to give, and to just find a compromise.
Yes, that is very true. Speaking of that, Sister Muriel, you also mentioned, it's really important with budgeting, not only for yourself but also within the family or your partner, to have these open discussions, because this is the real life. This is our actual living expenses, living needs that we actually need to acknowledge, because this is what we need to be able to live this life. With that said, there is actually this new trend in our new budgeting approach. And I believe if you haven't heard it, it is actually going viral on the World Wide Web. I think this is coming from our Gen Zs this year. So Gen Zs in the comment section, where are you at? Let's see if you actually heard this, which is our topic, loud budgeting. So I am curious to know if our guests have actually heard about loud budgeting. At the Americar, have you heard about loud budgeting at all?
Sister Nikki, I heard about loud budgeting today or yesterday, actually.
Yesterday when I invited her. Yet. How about you, Sister Mariel? Have you ever heard about loud budgeting?
This is new to me as well, Paul.
All
I had
right.
to Google it.
That is very good because that's what we're here for to talk about it. How about I also want to ask Uncle Ron, have you heard about loud budgeting?
No.
No?
Yes and no. I mean, I'm learning about it, but just I'm more into soft budgeting.
All right, we will try and convert you into doing loud budgeting today. How about you, Sister Mylene? Have you heard of loud budgeting at all?
No, and I thought it was the other way around. So thank you, Nikki, for opening our eyes today. This
So
is
what
very
what
new
did you
to
think it
me.
was, Ate? What was your, like, when you first heard it? What did you think it was gonna be like?
When you hear the word loud, it seems like it's extravagant or
Mm.
something big and glamorous, but it's actually I just used my search engine before right I mean, before the show and found out it's actually the other way around. It's like expressing your needs loudly and bluntly to keep yourself from spending from for unnecessary stuff. So
Exactly.
love this topic. Thank you,
Exactly.
Ate
Thank you
Nikki.
for that, Ate Mylene. And again, just diving in deep into loud budgeting, according to the internet, usually loud budgeting is the one that encourages us to talk openly about our money goals with our friends or family, while also being able to openly reject, some peer pressure, in spending or like hanging out or unnecessary hangouts, when we can just stay at home as well and save our money, and just, being able to openly talk about it and not be scared of it. So, with our guest today, would you find yourself using this new approach, loud budgeting, or do you think you're already doing it? We'll start with Sister Mariel.
Sister Nikki, thinking about it today, I just couldn't put the name of the concept, but I was in a makeup store earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to see if I can get a new perfume.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself in the aisle and just staring at this perfume that I wanted. It smelled really nice, but I was debating with myself, do I really need this now? If I
Mm-hmm.
get this today, how many times am I going to wear it? Am I going to wear it every day? Is it going to be worth this purchase? Or can
Mm-hmm.
this be something that I can splurge on later on? So I find myself already doing it, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that I will continue doing it because for me, it's what works. If regarding budgeting, I need to have a visual and
Mm-hmm.
to just communicate that to myself that this is our budget, this is why it is how it is, and why you're um, dividing these things this way.
Yeah, definitely. That is right. I do the same thing actually. I think about it so many times. Sometimes I even sleep on it. And if I go back to the store, maybe the week after, if it's still there, then it's, meant for me. I think we all subtly like do this already, but at least now, with the young or the youth, we're more open to these kinds of things. We're more financially aware and more accepting that this is the reality of life. This is the reality of adulting. We actually need to, sometimes control our wants and focus on our needs. How about you, Sister Maricar? Do you find yourself doing this new approach, or are you actually unknowingly doing this already?
I'm so happy this is becoming a popularized concept
Mm,
because it's the way that I was able to even get out of debt.
mm,
I vocalized it to my friend group that, hey, over the next year, my goal is to pay off all of my debt. And I have $8,000 worth of debt. I know we have birthdays coming up. I know we have hangouts coming up. I know we have plans to travel coming up. And I want to communicate with my entire group, with all of my friends that I may have to cut back or not even go to specific vacations that we were planning on going on with each other. Uh, Instead of going out to dinner, want to come over and let's
cook at
watch
home.
movies together.
Mhm.
Let's find like more affordable options if you're open to that. And what I was so grateful for is my friend group. They they were completely supportive and
Mhm.
they were extremely mindful about they would always invite me out and they would say, hey, you know what? I know you're looking to not spend right now, but please come out and spend time with us. If you're
Mhm.
not going to spend financially, we'd love for you to still be there. And I really appreciated how inclusive they were and how supportive they were for me hitting my financial goal. So I am a huge fan of loud budgeting.
Yes, you are actually correct at the because being able to be surrounded with like the right group of people who also will respect your needs and wants in achieving your goals in life is also a big factor in helping you reach your goals, not only to yourself but also being surrounded with that such supportive group is very important as well. We're always also sometimes we also feel like this term called FOMO, or fear of missing out. When those days comes, how do you like overcome it? Knowing that you have this money saving goal for this year, what do you like say to yourself when that FOMO comes into you? How about you, Sister Mario? What's your thought on that?
I would also try to find ways that we can spend time together um, without going out, like what Sister Marikar said. For example, instead of going out for coffee, we can have coffee at the house, have our
Mm-hmm.
own cafe night, or instead of getting coffee in the morning at different coffee places, you can make your own, that kind of stuff. So I would try to find ways that we can still have fun, but would help with our expenses and we can stay within our budget.
That is true, And also, of course, we're not saying too, even if we're promoting, budget, try not to spend. We are not, not also trying to stop you from spending on things that you want to do. But there's also like proper ways on how we can also reach those and spend on those things. So I want to ask our sister America, with that, how did you overcome that yourself when there are things that of course you also want to spend for yourself? How do you set that aside, like, and like the balance of importance? What is your mindset when you like try to spend things for yourself and save for the needs that you need for your everyday living?
Mm, this was a skill and
Mm-hmm.
it was definitely a discipline. And it's also a different way to look at how spending or how moving your money around and telling your money where you want it to go, how empowering and how much power we have in the decisions of where we're placing our money. And what I realized at the time, it was if I spend $7 on this cup of coffee that is so aesthetic and it
Uh-huh.
looks so cute on social media,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to take a picture of it so bad, is it really worth the $7?
Mm-hmm.
Or typically I would get the coffee and the pastry. And if I had a friend with me, I love treating my friends. So I would
Mm-hmm.
most likely be paying for their things as well. So in total, it's not the reality of a $7 cup of coffee that looks really
Right.
nice on social media, but it was probably $30 every single time I went out to get something with a friend. And
Mm-hmm.
I love that and I enjoy it. But it was temporary satisfaction versus what I really wanted in my long term goals. And uh also what I felt like God wanted me to do. I felt like he was really guiding me to be more responsible with my finances and the
Mhm,
fact that my credit score was so low. I was in thousands of dollars in debt. When I applied to credit cards, I would get denied. I knew that I needed to make a life change if I wanted to get my bigger goals in life, which was purchasing a house
mhm.
or being able to provide. Because for me, also, before me and my husband got married, I was also thinking, how in the world can we afford a child? If I don't change my habits and the way I
Mhm,
think about money right now, then I'm going to be providing not the best life. And we're probably going to be struggling for money if I'm not financially prepared to have a kid. So I need to start figuring out and changing my mindset around those habits right now. So it was always the comparison of, is this immediate satisfaction worth it
mhm,
versus will the long-term goals be worth it? And I'm not saying don't have coffee dates or don't buy that
right.
video game that's
Mhm,
$25 and play that. Of course, it's no fun not having fun.
mhm,
And sometimes
exactly.
money does require that. Sometimes it really does, or sometimes those things do require money.
Mhm,
But having the discipline that instead of 3 coffee dates a week, maybe 1 coffee date a month and changing
mhm.
that habit.
Yeah, it's not really like that is right, Ate Marika, it's not really about like stopping it. It's just about trying to control yourself, discipline yourself into spending your money wisely, really. And lastly, Ate, if you have, I'm curious, since now you have all these knowledge, you learned your lesson. We also want to be like you someday, financially aware and know all the tips and tricks. But if you could go back and talk to your younger self, what would you tell her with the things that you know now?
Start becoming comfortable with looking at your bank account and all of your credit card
Mhm.
charges. I knew I was in a lot of trouble. So I thought, out of sight, out of mind. If I don't
True.
look at it, it doesn't exist. My debt doesn't exist. My $13 in my bank account doesn't exist if I don't look at
Mhm.
it. And I had to become extremely comfortable with facing my reality and being able to understand the way that you're spending your money, that you're saving your money as early as possible, it helped me out so much. So I would really tell myself, and to anyone here who maybe was in a similar financial situation to me, to face that fear, as scary as it is, of looking at your accounts.
Yes, I agree. Guilty as charged right here. Just kidding. But yeah, you know what? That is very true. Sometimes we are very scared to just accept the reality. But you know what they say? Acceptance is key. That's the start. When you accept your situation, your reality, that's when you start looking for solutions and actually moving forward and trying to resolve and getting out of that situation into a better one. But how about you, Sister Mario? For you, was there a moment of realization? Okay, you know what? It's time. I need to be serious about budgeting. Is there like a specific scenario, situation that has happened to you?
Yes. So, when we all face our different trials and
Mhm.
then unexpected expenses come up, for example, if one of your loved ones becomes sick, you have to account for all the hospital bills and um, everything that comes with that. So, for me, loud budgeting, it will really help you set yourself up in the future for success.
Mhm.
I know all of us are guilty of this, like YOLO, like I
Yeah.
mean, it is true. You should
Uh-huh.
enjoy life and treat yourself.
Mhm.
Um, but also setting aside a high yield savings account, having your
Ooh.
401k or any kind of account like that you're able to grow and invest, that is setting yourself up for success in the future. And it's so easy now that you just have to set it up and you don't really have to think about it. And it will continue to grow as you go through life. And then I loved how Sister Marikar talked about instant gratification because
Mhm.
I know a lot of us are guilty of that. And
Yeah.
now that with budgeting, you notice that we should have a goal. So um, now instead of getting that coffee or getting that designer bag, and though disclaimer, everyone, if you want your designer bag, go ahead and get it if you can.
Mhm.
I support you in that. But instead of saving up for a designer bag, I would rather spend it on an experience like a family trip
Mhm.
or maybe going to a concert, just an experience instead of something tangible and instead of something instant.
That is true. I don't know if it is also well interpreted out in the world, but having to being able to buy something doesn't mean you can always be able to afford it. Being able to afford it and being able to buy something is very two different things. I realized that the hard way. And again, we are thankful for modern technology nowadays. Um, we have all these resources that are readily available for us. So really just again accepting our reality and accepting the situation we're at and trying to move forward, and that is really a start on that process that we're gonna be able to go through in our journey to becoming better, money savers throughout this year. But I also want to hear from you, Brother Ron, being able to, travel as well. We were wondering, being able to see and travel, get these experiences throughout your life. But how are you able to budget, and what do you think about this new approach called loud budgeting?
Well, I would say from our experience with myself, my family, you know, Sister Meryl mentioned it earlier. As young as they are now, this is the right time for them to start to
Mm-hmm.
save up and so on. And it doesn't mean that you have to be really frugal. Go go buy something that if you deserve it, treat yourself nice. But you do have to save your money as well. That's something important for the future. With those of you that know us and my family, we do a lot of traveling. We have in the past years, just because it is something it's not material things that were important to us. It's the experience, it's the quality time, and so on. So that's where a lot of our money went into as far as our family budgeting goes, and of course go out to have a nice dinner with the family and so on. Even if it is on the dollar menu at the fast food,
Yes.
it's it's just the togetherness really is
Mm-hmm.
what's important. But I'll tell you, and from experience and where I am now in life, it was because of that savings and so on. Where now, I'll say I was had the opportunity to retire early. It's been a couple years now, and you know, retiring and not working anymore actually forces us to budget. But because I don't make, I mean, I get a pension and all, but the fact that if you don't have money, then you can't spend the money. So it kind of works out,
Exactly.
nowadays. And for me, my and the family and all. But it's when you tend to make more money, you tend to spend more money, and that's that's the hard part. It's the scary part.
Mm-hmm.
But with if you have um, less money, then you spend less money, but you are able to live within your means and budget. So it's yeah, go out and buy that nice thing, but if you can't really afford it, don't buy it at all. It's not worth it. But that's from our experience.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Love hearing that. And you're right, the more money that comes in, the more money that comes out. Unfortunately, it's not always, more money coming in. But yeah, we also want to hear from our Ate Mai. Ate Mai, as a mom of five, how do you, budget your funds for everyday spending, with the kids, with you as yourself, as a mom? How do you do it all?
Ate Nikki, I'm enjoying this conversation. I'm learning a lot, and hearing from from our young panelists today, I feel like we went through all that, you know?
Mhm.
And I'm so proud of them because when I was at their age, I wasn't thinking like that, and so we went through a lot of challenges. And I think at this age, like Kuya Ron has said, it's all about spending purposefully, you know, like spending with a purpose, not for the purpose of showing off or keeping up, but for the purpose of, what do we deserve? What do my kids need? I don't have to like post anything on social media anymore. I'm so happy. And I think that's a huge factor for me to be in the place where we are right now. Financial freedom, right? I mean,
Yes.
it couldn't be better than this. So yeah, it's all about that mindset that money is not something to please other people, but for
Mhm.
you to enjoy yourself. You know, it's your hard earned, hard earned money. So yeah, I think it's how you spend it and the purpose of spending it means a lot, and took us to a place where we are right now,
Yes.
overcoming financial challenges. Thank you,
Mhm.
Ati Maricar, Ati Mariel. You guys are so insightful. I really
I
enjoyed this
know.
topic, Ati Nikki.
Yes. Thank you so much,
And
Sister Mary.
also, by the way, our team live chat are there, cheering everybody up. And there's a lot of insightful comments here also, like this one from Kuya Levi Monico. I looked up what it was and loud budgeting. I don't think it's necessary to have an effective budget. The only one you need to convince to save and spend money is yourself, right?
Oh, yes.
We have also our ministers' wives in the live chat, led by Ate Malca Nukum, Kalinda Balyada, Ate Shay Chavez, Kalitsi Ilagan. I think the entire Ilagan and the entire Mendoza family are in the live chat right now. Karemi, Ka Arnold, hello po, Kalito, um, and also Ate Shaina, Ate Liana Antenor, of course, our avid listener. We have Remedio Bolus, sharing their tips that we'll be reading in a moment at the
All
next.
right. Thank you so much, Ate Mylene, for reading all of those comments as well. And thank you for our live chat for also joining our discussion. Sorry, we were a little bit late, but yeah, we did not forget about you. We'll read more of your comments later on. But for now, we just want to quickly hear again from Sister Maricar, and Sister Mariel, um, we have been talking about budgeting, 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 but really, why is it important for us to budget? We'll start with Sister Maricar.
Especially now that I'm in my 30s, I think about family a lot, and I think about the life we could potentially give to ourselves if we can early retire like Uncle Ron. What kind of experiences do we want to provide for our family? And then for us, it really is about, I say us as in me and my husband.
Mm-hmm.
What budgeting means to us is it's going to allow us, our disciplines now will allow us to lead lives that are even more fulfilling than what we could ever expect if
Mm-hmm.
we're able to have that discipline as well as the income as well. So we're both extremely ambitious and we inspire each other all the time to do our best in everything that we do. So it really is, what budgeting is for us is to lead the life that we really want, both now, but most especially in the future.
Yes, that is also good, having a great partner as well who is always there to support you and to also inspire each other in your goals is really, one of the best things that you could also have alongside with all of the discipline that we will start doing when we start our budgeting. But with that, I think Marker, I know you have to go soon. So before you go, we want to hear if you have any shout outs or if you want to say some greetings for your family and friends, please do them now.
Yes, I would love to shout out, of course, South Las Vegas, but all of Mountain States, also to San Diego County, specifically the local of Chula Vista, that and the local of National City. Those are the locals that I was a Bible student in, was baptized in, and spent the first couple of years of me being a member of the Church of Christ. And then also to the panelists here, Sister Mariel, Ate Mai, and Uncle Ron, as well as Sister Nikki and Kuya Tech. Thank you so, so, so much for having me. Also, chat, y'all are amazing. I love spending time with you. And it's cool to be on the other side of things as
Yes.
well.
Finally on the other side. If you haven't seen, also Sister America is always on the live chat with us. So we are so happy to finally put a face on those comments right there. So again, thank you, Sister America, for supporting us. We'll do a little cliffhanger for Sister Meryl because she'll continue to join us for later. But for now, quick time check. It's 3:40 p.m. Pacific time. Right now we have a more fun segments coming up for you. So please stay tuned in to INC Radio Mountain States, and we will do a quick station break. So please stay behind, and we will return.
You are listening to Iglesia Ni Cristo Radio, the voice of truth.
Responding to criticism, whether constructive or negative, can be very challenging. However, it is essential to remain open minded and matured to take these comments as opportunities for growth. In addition, acknowledging the critic and showing appreciation for the feedback, even if it's difficult to hear, is a sign of maturity. Tune in this Sunday at 4 p.m. Philippine Standard Time or 5 p.m. Korean Standard Time as we talk about and share some smart and proactive ways in responding to criticisms. See you then!
Have you ever wondered what people thought after meeting you? Do you think their first impression of you lasted? This Sunday, February 4, tune in to INCRadio Hong Kong Satellite Studio as we give you some tips on how to make a good and lasting first impression. Join us from 11 a.m. to 12 noon, Philippine Standard Time. See you there!
In our upcoming episode of INC Radio Italy North Satellite Studio,
we will be talking about having a strong and healthy marriage.
What are some of the things you do to strengthen the relationship
between you and your significant other?
Conjoin and share your thoughts with us Sunday, February 4 at 6 p.m. Central European Time, Monday, February 5 at 1 a.m. Philippine Time.
Do not miss any of our programs. Subscribe to INC Radio DZEM 954 official YouTube channel.
Are you ready to be part of an unprecedented, once in a lifetime, and never before seen event that is sure to etch its mark in history? Witness and relive real life accounts and chronicles of faith through a majestic parade of photographs. Watch and enjoy real life and poignant stories narrated through music and melody in our Kwentong Radio. Meet the best of INC Radio who are committed in changing lives through God's words. This February 10, 2024, in celebration of the 55th anniversary of SEBSI Incorporated and INC Radio DZEM 954, we cordially invite you to the Kwentong Radio, the INC Radio Photo Exhibit, Musical and Awards 2024. You are guaranteed an experience beyond compare. See you then.
And we are back. You're still tuning in with us here on INC Radio Mountain States. Promo videos that have been shown from earlier. We have South Korea, and we also have many, many more shows celebrating as well. Upcoming the 55 years of SEBSI. So please do stay tuned on that. In the coming weeks, we'll be celebrating and talking a little bit more about that. So please do stay tuned. We have again South Korea, we have Hong Kong, and Italy North. Please do support all of their INC radio shows as well throughout this week. Again, that's INC Radio DZEM 954. Going back to our broadcast here on INC Radio Mountain States again. In the first part of our show, we did talk about loud budgeting. We had a really, really informative discussion, of course, brought to us by our panelists and, of course, some of our crew members and our live chatters. Again, thank you so much for all of your thoughts and tips about this topic. Again, I'm not sure. If everybody has heard it, if you're just coming in right now, this is a new budgeting approach uh this year, so hopefully we can all get onto it. But with that, actually, before we dive into more fun stuff and go back with our guest, Sister Mariel, who is still with us, and of course our live chatters, we cannot forget, we will read your comments later on. But for now, let us first get to know the activities that we had in the past week. Of course, we cannot forget to feature all of these fun activities. So whenever you're ready, Pocket Tech, let's go ahead and move on to our CFO in action. in action. All right. Christian family organizations, these are our activities coming from Salt Lake City CWS Children's Worship Service. They held a field trip to the aquarium and went to the Loveland Living Planet Aquarium. As you can see here, we have our brothers and sisters, of course, our CWS members accompanied by their parents, and of course, our CWS officers enjoying the very, very big aquarium right there. And also outdoors, right here, we have a couple of animals right there. Here we have some baby sharks right there in that huge aquarium. Of course, not only, I'm pretty sure, not only did the kids enjoy this, but also the parents and our older members right there with the big smiles on their faces. Next, we have our Friday Youth Mission. This is coming from the local congregation of West Las Vegas. They brought their coloring supplies like crayons, colored pencils, and markers, and held a coloring sessions. As you can see there, they have their tables prepared, their long tables with all of our brethren right there. They also, I think, have some papers right there with different kinds of drawings like they could fill out and color into, so they could show their creative sides right there. This is also one of good hobbies, not only for kids too, also for adults. We also enjoy what do you call this, our adult coloring books. So this is also one way we could enjoy that as well. And lastly, we cannot forget the local congregation of Blue Diamond. They held a welcome my brethren at the park and conducted a sports clinic basketball edition, as you can see here in the photos flashing on your screens right now if you're watching us on YouTube. These are our brethren, showing off their skills in basketball, as you can see right there. The weather is really, really great right now. So it is a perfect time to go out there and do a lot of outdoor activities with our friends and family, and most especially also our brethren in the Church of Christ, as you can see them right there playing basketball. I think, this is also a way to get ready for our future Unity games. So, of course, Unity games, we always love them. Playing sports, doing outdoor activities with our brethren, love them all the time. Speaking of which, actually, this morning we also just had, I believe it's regional or district wide, we had our INC giving activities this morning. We helped out in our local parks here within the Nevada region as well, clean up a little, give a helping hand. And of course, we are also able to enjoy our, brethren's uh, brethren right there who joined us for that day. So, with that, that is our CFO in action, and I hope you continue to share with us all of your fun activities. But after that, let's go ahead and have a little bit more fun here with our guests, our crew members, and our live chatters with our icebreaker and our MTS challenge.
MTS Challenge.
I love MTS challenge. It's just so relaxing, and then hit you with a challenge. So, are you ready? Who's up for a challenge?
Let's go do it, Ate Mai.
All right. So today we're doing a save or spend kind of this or that thing. So I'll be giving you categories, and you'll tell me whether you'll save or spend.
Mhm.
So our
I'll
first,
watch our live chatters at it for you. There you go.
yeah, and live chatters, please join us. Which of these categories would you spend for, and which of these will you hold and save up? All right. I mean, save instead of
Mhm.
spending. All right. Let's start with number one, iced coffee or boba after a really long day. Ati Marielle, what will you say?
Favorite
Look at that reaction.
Tata Mylene, this is the worst question for me.
First, we should start with, huh?
I
I
can't live
know.
without coffee. I have to have coffee every day to be productive, which I'm working on.
Mhm.
But I will spend. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
hope all of you have a stronger will than me.
Don't worry. I don't think you're alone. I would be spending too. See,
Same.
we have Carlito. Carlito would save though. Carlito and Ka-Annalyn would save, but I think Kuya Ate Litzy Lagan will stay warm and spend. We have
Sister
Ate
Norma,
Carla. Yeah, so
Sister
most
Norma
of us
says
will
she
be
would save.
saving.
Sister Donna
Mhm.
Grace Palisak says she would save. Sister May Ann says save. And Brother Brandon says save. Sister Melka, Sister Michelle says save. Sister Monica, though, says she would also spend with you, Sister Mariel. Maybe you
I
could
will
go out.
spend with you at any long day, Ate Mariel. I think spending, again, what I mentioned a while ago was purposeful spending. You don't have to really save. It's not the only way to reach financial freedom, right? You can
Mm-hmm.
always, like what they say, you can only save so much. But,
Yes.
you have to know
Let's see
what,
after
what,
this.
what you really need. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's our number two. What about this, Ate Nikki? New clothes for the new school year. Would you save or spend?
Oh, at the growing up, I'm actually blessed to have been wearing uniform. So I would say here too, but if I had to like wear casual clothing, I would
Mhm.
save. I think I would save. How
Yeah,
about
I
how
agree.
about our live chatters? What are they saying?
Like chatters, would you save or spend for new clothes for, say, the new season or the new school year for the students? Would they spend or save? What about you, Kuya Ron? Would you spend or save?
Well, since I don't go to school anymore,
For the new season, say.
Yeah, there you
for the
go.
new
For the
season,
new
yeah.
season
I mean, I
too.
definitely want to.
Yeah.
It's funny because I don't go to work every day anymore, so I don't have to buy clothes anymore. But
Mm.
not that I wore this 2 days in a row, but you don't have to change as much, so I don't need a big wardrobe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a good thing, right, Kuya Ron? I mean,
Oh
keep
yeah.
it simple. Less is more sometimes. All
But
Yeah.
right.
no,
So,
seasonally, yes.
mhm.
I would definitely treat myself to.
Sister Liana actually says, I'm assuming she would spend, but
Mm.
she says buy quality that lasts. So that is also true.
Oh. What
So
about if they're out of size? You know, the winter effect.
yeah,
And we're entering spring and summer, so I know. All
that's
right.
for, I think that's a talk for spring cleaning at the mine.
Right.
Especially when they don't fit.
Okay. I know. So here's the last one, okay?
Mhm.
What favorite salad from a certain restaurant? Would you
Ooh, this is
spend or save for that, Ate Mario? Or
If
say
I can
favorite dish. If it's not salad, I
yeah,
mean, if it's a steak, would you?
a
Like once
certain
in a
dish.
lifetime, yeah. Like going to a restaurant for a once in a lifetime experience, would you save or spend for that, dish that you really love or curious about tasting, trying?
Now that you put it that way, Ate Mai, now I'm kind
It
of,
has to be hard, right?
yeah, I'm kind of in between. So I think my boundary is if I can make it at home, then I will save. If I
Mhm.
can't make, I don't know, beef Wellington, then I will
Yeah.
spend.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Let me know if you found out how that recipe is made,
Yes,
please.
we could always share recipes to each other. But again, I think that is it for our Save or Spend
Mhm.
segment right here. Again, thank you so much, Ate Muriel, Ate Mai, Uncle Ron, and all of our live chatters for joining us into the discussion and also our challenge this week. We'll just go ahead and give Sister Meryl the opportunity to give her quick shout outs and greetings before we go right here. Go ahead, Sister Meryl.
Thank you po, Sister Nikki. If my mom, Sister Kit is watching, hello po.
Hello.
And of course to greet our district staff, our district minister, Caldwell Newcomb, and his family, and all the ministers and workers whom we love and take care of us. Also to the local of South Las Vegas, hello po. If you're watching, I know we have worship service later, and
Yeah.
all the district CFO officers as well, and all the CWS officers too.
All right. Yay.
Thank you
Thank you so
po.
much again, Sister Mariel, for joining us. And of course, Sister America earlier, who joined us today. We loved hearing your thoughts and your insights on this topic. And of course, your tips that we will really take to heart. And hopefully, we could all, achieve together our money saving goals for this year. I'll just go ahead and quickly read through the comments regarding our topic discussion earlier that we missed. We're so sorry we weren't able to read this real time, but here we are, diving in
It's
again.
flooded and on fire. But Ate Nikki,
Yes,
let's just greet the San
yeah.
Pedro family,
Mhm.
Brother Cromwell and Sister Kat for their new baby. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if it's a boy or a girl,
congratulations.
but there's a lot of congratulations for them and also a birthday greeting for Sister Monica. Happy birthday,
Happy
Paul.
birthday. All right, Ate, I just also want to dive into this. This is regarding our topic again, which is
Mhm.
loud budgeting from Brother Sean Mendoza. Budgeting helps you save money for needs, not wants. That is true.
Ooh, love that.
Brother Levi also says, remember a saying, people will buy things they don't need with money they don't have to impress people they don't even know. That is
Or
all.
they don't even like.
That is very true.
Love that, Kuya
Um,
Levi.
that is sad, but it is true. There is a
Mhm.
truth to that. Sister Anna Kui also said, we have to know what we need versus what we want. Hashtag
Yes.
SLB. Sister Jocelyn says, save money. All caps, save money. Sister Annalyn says, accepting the reality. That is also true. Brother
Love
Brandon
that.
says, um, we are eating at Ate Kat's and Kuya Crumb's house to save money po. So that is good, Start them young. Sister Annalyn also says, do coffee at home. Sister Remedio says, yes, discipline is the key. Sister Carly says lay low on buying things we don't need. Definitely true. Last few comments right here. Sister Michelle says budgeting effectively and having discipline is key. And of course, uh, Brother Ace just thanking us, for another money hacks and budgeting tips that we've learned again here from INC Radio Mountain States. And of
Oh,
course,
another birthday greetings, Ate Nikki. To Cases Arbolus. Happy birthday po.
happy birthday,
Birthday.
happy birthday to all our, last week, our end of January celebrants, and of course, first week of February. Happy birthday. Shout out to all of our ministers here and our district minister here in the District of Mountain States and all of our ministers' wives. Thank you, Paul, for always supporting us here on INC Radio Mountain States. And then again, just to close off our topic discussion again, loud budgeting, living in this world gives us access to many things that we need and want in this life. And as the world continues to get harder, coming out of the pandemic, finally going back to the old normal, financial stability is also getting much harder to attain. So that is why welcoming this new technique, which is loud budgeting, along with many, many more other techniques that we can use in our budgeting, and acknowledging the reality of our living needs can help us start with the money saving goals that we have for this year. Though being financially stable is also very important, we must also not forget that we will always have our Almighty God to be there to guide and help us with whatever we need in life and provide with the things that we need in order to use our life and strength in serving Him. So, again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us in this really fun and knowledgeable discussion. We love talking about this. Even the youth are also enjoying seeing from their comments. I think I've seen also Brother Rod, if I remember correctly, he put in a comment, I wish we have a budgeting class in high school. That is very true. Start them young, get them to know all of these so that they're prepared for their future and not shocked, with
Yeah.
all of the
And
available
Ate
resources
Nikki,
we had.
we have one more minute for those who are planning to hashtag their local congregations to be acknowledged next week. Now is the time.
Yes.
Go and drop your hashtags right now. Last minute. Come on. Make it count.
While we're waiting for them, go ahead and let us in on what we're going to be talking about next week.
Oh, yeah. Next week is Subsea 55th Anniversary Celebration Week. So, as part of Subsea being here on INC Radio, join us as we commemorate Subsea and meet our district multimedia here in our district of Mountain State. So, can't wait. Same time, same channel.
Exactly. And of course, we cannot forget to say our thank yous to these very special people, starting off with our executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, Brother Angelo Aranyo Manalo, our CEO, President of Subsea and CFO Coordinator, our station manager, Brother Arnel Solano, our executive producer, Brother Manly Andaya, our district minister, Brother Lowell Newcomb, our assistant district minister, Brother Oliver Conlas, our CFO overseer, Brother Christian Ross, our district multimedia advisor, Brother Justin Ramos, our district multimedia team, our avid listeners of INC Radio. Of course, we cannot forget to thank you all, Sister Muriel, Sister Mylene, Brother Ron. Thank you so much for joining us for today. Unfortunately, right on the dot 4 o'clock. That is all the time that we have for today. Thank you for watching and listening to INC Radio Mountain States. Please do continue to tune in to INC Radio DZEM 954, changing lives through God's words. This is INC Radio Mountain States signing off, and up next is INC Radio Canada. Thank you, everyone. Happy Saturday.
Bye. Happy Saturday.
Everyone,
Enjoy the
thank
rest of your
you.
weekend. Be safe and warm. Congratulations to all who had their INC giving today.
Congrats.
Happy
birthday to our celebrants. Congrats.
Happy Marielle. Thank you. Love you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Also, Sister America, thank you so
Happy
much.
Maricar. Thank you too.